So, hello students. Today I will be discussing diseases associated with purine and pyrimidine metabolism. So, now we have already finished with purine and pyrimidine metabolism. So, inborn errors occur due to mutations in genes encoding enzymes involved in the purine and pyrimidine metabolism. So, inborn errors of purine metabolism are more common than those of the pyrimidine metabolism. So, some important disorders of purine metabolism are gout, Lesch-Nyhan syndrome, adenosine deaminase deficiency, and purine nucleoside phosphorylase deficiency. We'll be discussing one by one in detail because a short note on this can be asked. uh, a short note can come on all the diseases associated with purine metabolism, or mostly this gout can be asked as a short note, or Lesch-Nyhan syndrome can be asked as a short note. So this is very important. Now, what is gout? So this is a common disease associated with excessive purine catabolism. It is characterized by hyperuricemia. So hyperuricemia is a condition when uric acid level in the blood increases above 7 mg per dl and excessive excretion of uric acid in urine. So it is more common in men, around 95%, and incident rate is 3 in 1000. So clinical symptoms, since uric acid is less soluble in body fluid aqueous environment, excessive uric acid lead to formation and deposition of urate crystals that are known as tophi in joints, cartilage of fingers, big toe, and other soft tissues. So this deposition of urate in joints leads to gouty arthritic attacks. They are painful. So hyperuricemia or gout is due to either overproduction of uric acid. So one by one we'll see all the reasons uh, where overproduction of uric acid takes place, and also impaired excretion of uric acid. So both these causes gout. Now, this gout is caused by precipitation of sodium urate crystals in the joints, resulting in inflammation and pain. So, hyperuricemia, that is the condition. It is characterized by plasma urate or uric acid level greater than 7 mg per dl. Normal levels you should know. This is important. A viva can be asked on this, that normal levels of uric acid in blood in females it is 2 to 6 mg per dl, and males it is 3 to 7 mg per dl. So now, what is primary hyperuricemia? It is an innate defect in purine metabolism and or uric acid excretion. Then secondary hyperuricemia, it includes increased availability of purines due to either medications or medical conditions or through diet. Let's see how. So now primary hyperuricemia, these are the causes: increased PRPP synthetase activity, HGPRTase deficiency. So we'll be discussing all these in detail. Glucose 6 phosphatase deficiency. So all these causes primary hyperuricemia, or these are the causes of primary hyperuricemia. Then secondary hyperuricemia, it is secondary to some disease other than metabolic disorder such as kidney disease or disease associated with excessive cell turnover and increased breakdown of nucleic acids, for example radiation therapy or cancer chemotherapy or psoriasis. So when its a concentration exceeds 7 mg per dl, when the concentration of uric acid exceeds 7 mg per dl, so it begins to get precipitated mainly in and around joints. So what happens then? Deposits of these urate crystals, they are known as tophi, and this leads to painful inflammation that is known as uh, uh, painful inflammation that is known as gouty arthritis. So needle shaped crystals of sodium urate in the synovial fluid first attract the neutrophils and later on macrophages. So these cells, both neutrophils as well as macrophages, they engulf the crystals and engulf these urate crystals. So chemicals released by neutrophils and macrophages, these causes inflammatory response, and inflammation produces acute gouty arthritis. This may later progress to chronic gouty arthritis. So basically this metatarsophalangeal joint of big toe is affected most frequently. Less commonly other small joints may be affected. So this is the metatarsophalangeal joint of the big toe that is mostly affected, and later on these small joints are also affected. So acute attacks of gouty arthritis are treated with colchicine and anti-inflammatory drugs. Colchicine prevents activation of neutrophils. So increased urinary excretion of uric acid can lead to precipitation of uric acid in the kidneys and formation of uric acid stones. So specific treatment of primary gout and uric acid stones aimed at lowering serum uric acid. So main aim should be that serum uric acid level should decrease. Such stones are more likely to be formed in the distal convoluted tubules and collecting ducts where urine is acidified. When urinary pH decreases below 5.8, urate is converted into uric acid, which is more likely to precipitate due to its low solubility. So production of uric acid can be decreased by allopurinol. This I discussed in purine metabolism also. As this allopurinol, this is the structural analog of hypoxanthine. It is a competitive inhibitor of xanthine oxidase. As you know that this xanthine oxidase is very important enzyme of purine degradation, as it converts hypoxanthine to xanthine and also xanthine to uric acid. Uric acid, you know, is the end product of this pathway, or it is the product of end product of purine catabolism. So this allopurinol, this is the structural analog of hypoxanthine and it is competitive inhibitor of xanthine oxidase. So on administration of allopurinol, xanthine oxidase is inhibited. So this formation of uric acid is decreased. Obviously, when this will inhibit, uric acid will not form, or there will be decreased formation of uric acid. So hypoxanthine and xanthine becomes the major end product of the purine catabolism. In that case, when that's why allopurinol is used. Hypoxanthine and xanthine are highly soluble. They are easily excreted in urine. Chances of stone formation are decreased. So in this way, this allopurinol can help by inhibiting this enzyme xanthine oxidase and decreasing this uric acid level. Chances of stone formation are decreased. Alkalinization of urine is also helpful, preventing the formation of uric acid stones. Uric acid is converted into more soluble sodium urate in an alkaline medium. Uricosuric drugs, example probenecid, can be used to increase the excretion of uric acid. So alcohol also decreases urinary excretion of uric acid. It should be avoided by persons suffering from gout. Then let's see the causes of primary gout. It is due to excessive formation of purine nucleotides and their degradation. It is an inherited disease. It occurs due to hyperactivity of PRPP synthetase and HGPRTase deficiency, glucose 6 phosphatase deficiency, increased levels of glutathione reductase. So all these are the causes of, let's see one by one. First of all is the increased PRPP synthetase. So you all know that in the very first step in which we are synthesizing this PRPP from this enzyme. So whenever this activity of this enzyme PRPP synthetase will increase, obviously we have more and more PRPP that will form de novo, via de novo synthesis. More and more ribonucleotides will be formed. This results in increased intracellular concentration of PRPP, which act as a positive effector of the enzyme amidotransferase. This is the first rate limiting enzyme of the purine biosynthesis, purine de novo biosynthesis. This in turn increases de novo synthesis of purine nucleotides as well as their subsequent degradation. As more and more this nucleotides will be formed, more degradation, so more formation of uric acid. So this is one of the cause of hyperuricemia or primary gout. So second is deficiency of HGPRTase. This is a very important enzyme of salvage pathway. So Lesch-Nyhan syndrome, X-linked recessive disorder in which HGPRTase, this enzyme is completely absent, results in severe hyperuricemia and hyperuricuria. So gouty arthritis and uric acid stones occur in the kidneys. In HGPRTase deficiency, salvage of hypoxanthine and guanine is decreased. So decreased salvage relieves inhibition on de novo synthesis. So this in turn results in increased intracellular pool of PRPP. So again, you know that more and more DNA synthesis, so and decreases IMP GMP concentrations, thereby promoting de novo as they are feedback inhibitors of this enzyme glutamine PRPP amidotransferase. So this promotes de novo synthesis of purine nucleotides, and this also leads to the excessive production of more and more de novo synthesis of purine nucleotides. This would lead to more degradation or production of uric acid. So brain is incapable of de novo synthesis of purine nucleotides, you know, so it is entirely dependent on salvage pathway for purine nucleotides. Therefore, severe neurological abnormalities occur in the Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. So these neurological features of Lesch-Nyhan syndrome include mental retardation, then spastic paralysis, aggressive and self-destructive behavior. These are not alleviated by allopurinol as these are due to a deficiency of purine nucleotides in the brain and not due to an excess of uric acid. So this, as you know, this is X-linked recessive disorder. There is complete HGPRTase deficiency. This is very important. A short note on Lesch-Nyhan syndrome can be asked most of the time. So characterized by mental deficiency, aggression, self-destructive behavior, characterized by lip and finger biting. Since high urate levels are present in the blood, individuals with this condition are also prone to gout and the kidney stones. So decreased utilization of PRPP in the salvage pathway diverts PRPP to de novo synthesis, which is consequently increased. So de novo synthesis of purine nucleotide leads to increased catabolism also and increased formation of uric acid. Serum uric acid concentration is increased, that is known as hyperuricemia, and also urinary excretion of uric acid is also increased, so that is known as hyperuricuria. So both hyperuricemia and hyperuricuria causes the various signs and symptoms of gout. Now next is the von Gierke's disease. This is one of the glycogen storage disease. Glycogen storage disease 1 or the von Gierke's disease. So in this disease, you know, this glucose 6 phosphate accumulates due to the lack of this enzyme glucose 6 phosphatase, which is diverted to HMP shunt. So when this enzyme is deficient, glucose 6 phosphate cannot be converted to glucose. So more glucose is channeled to pentose shunt pathway, resulting in increased. So more of the glucose will channel to pentose phosphate pathway. So that results in more and more this ribose 5 phosphate moiety. So this will lead to increased formation of PRPP. So as a result, more pentose phosphates are produced. This leads to accumulation of PRPP and increased purine nucleotide biosynthesis. So the last is increased levels of glutathione reductase. So this particular enzyme, glutathione reductase, generate more NADP. So you know that this moiety is utilized by HMP shunt. This causes increased ribose 5-phosphate and PRPP synthesis. Again, this can be a reason of hyperuricemia. Then causes of secondary gout, it can be acquired as well as inherited disease. It occurs as consequence of other diseases which cause excessive uric acid production. They are leukemia, polycythemia, pernicious anemia, hemolytic anemia. Excessive catabolism of DNA causes hyperuricemia. Nucleic acid turnover is more in both these diseases, which is responsible for uricemia. Then secondary gout may also occur in renal disorders due to decreased urinary excretion of uric acid. So now the deficiency of purine nucleoside phosphorylase. So if you see this particular enzyme converts the nucleosides to the this base, nitrogenous base. So this is an autosomal recessive deficiency of PNPP. This causes the urinary excretion of guanine and hypoxanthine, as this will be deficient. So this will cause the urinary excretion of both hypoxanthine and the guanine. There is reduced production of uric acid as this enzyme is deficient. So in this case only T lymphocyte production is impaired. Lack of this enzyme leads to accumulation of deoxyguanosine and DGTP. This blocks conversion of CDP to DCTP by ribonucleotide reductase. So DCTP required for a DNA synthesis is not available and proliferation of T cells is impaired. That's why this ADA deficiency, this ADA, adenosine deaminase deficiency, that converts adenosine to inosine. So this is a nucleoside that is converting into a base. So this is inherited as an autosomal recessive defect. This deficiency causes severe combined immunodeficiency, that is SCID. So a short note on SCID can also be asked. So both humoral and cell mediated immunity are severely impaired in SCID. B lymphocytes as well as T lymphocytes are decreased in number and have impaired functional capacity. So half of the cases of SCID, that is severe combined immunodeficiency, are due to ADA deficiency. So there occurs an accumulation of deoxyribonucleotides which inhibit further production of precursors of DNA synthesis, especially DCTP. So T lymphocytes as well as B lymphocytes do not mature due to impaired DNA synthesis. Affected individuals are more prone to infections. This condition is usually called as severe combined immunodeficiency disease, SCIDD. Then we will discuss the disorders of pyrimidine metabolism. So disorders of pyrimidine metabolism are rare and less severe as compared to disorders of purine metabolism. Overproduction of pyrimidines is harmless as their catabolites are easily excreted. So, what are the catabolites of pyrimidines? They are beta alanine and beta hydroxybutyrate. So, they go to the respective cycles via acetyl CoA and succinyl CoA. So diseases due to defects in the pyrimidine metabolism. So only you need to remember orotic aciduria in this case. So deficient production of pyrimidines may cause clinical abnormalities which can be easily controlled. So the important disorders of metabolism are orotic aciduria type 1 and orotic aciduria type 2. So this orotic aciduria is a disorder of pyrimidine synthesis associated with excessive excretion of orotic acid in the urine. So UMP synthase is a bifunctional enzyme with two enzymatic activities within the same polypeptide, that is orotate phosphoribosyl transferase. This is the fifth step where we are using this enzyme, and then sixth step OMP decarboxylase, where OMP is converted to UMP after decarboxylation. So the UMP synthase defect leads to orotic aciduria. So this is a bifunctional enzyme which has enzyme activities, two enzymatic activities within the same polypeptide, that is number one is this orotate phosphoribosyl transferase and OMP decarboxylase. The fifth and the sixth enzyme of pyrimidine de novo synthesis. So this defect leads to orotic aciduria. So UMP cannot be synthesized. This leads to failure of DNA synthesis and megaloblastic anemia. You can see here orotate phosphoribosyl transferase. These are the steps. First, this by the condensation of glutamine, bicarbonate and ATP, in presence of CPS2, that is carbamyl phosphate synthetase 2 enzyme, carbamyl aspartate is formed. Then from carbamyl aspartate, carbamyl phosphate aspartate is condensed or linked with this carbamyl phosphate to form this carbamyl aspartate moiety. This is the second step. Then from carbamyl aspartate, dihydroorotate is formed in presence of an enzyme dihydroorotase, and in this from dihydroorotate, after dehydrogenation, this orotate is formed. And in the fifth step, as I was telling you, this orotate phosphor in presence of this enzyme orotate phosphoribosyl transferase, UMP is formed, and after decarboxylation this UMP is formed. So UMP will further convert into CMP, TMP, etc. So this both these enzymes are deficient, the fifth and the sixth enzyme, that is orotate phosphoribosyl transferase as well as the OMP decarboxylase. So inheritance is autosomal recessive. De novo synthesis of pyrimidines is decreased. So these will not form. UMP, CMP, TMP will not form. There is accumulation of orotic acid. So this orotic acid will accumulate as further both these enzymes will be deficient, so there is accumulation of orotic acid which is excreted in the urine. So the clinical features are retardation of growth, impairment of immune system, megaloblastic anemia. So disease can be controlled by oral administration of uridine, as all the pyrimidine nucleotides can be synthesized from uridine. So there is in this type 2 orotic aciduria type 2, there is deficiency of OMP decarboxylase, and only OMP and orotic acid are excreted in the urine. So the only clinical abnormality is megaloblastic anemia, which can be controlled by oral administration of uridine. So in this way I have finished with this diseases associated with both purine and the pyrimidine metabolism. So, purine metabolism, the most importantly, you should know gout and the Leishman syndrome. And in this pyrimidine metabolism, the diseases associated with this, they are rare, but you should know a paragraph about this orotic aciduria. So, thank you. Keep watching my videos, prepare your notes. So I think it will be helpful for you. Thank you.